excited to be here to do
My
this.
name is Laura Foster.
Guitar player extraordinaire slash resident fun guy at Northside
Trio Quinn. I'm actually Charlie's cousin.
Will Baker.
Eddie. Baines Blanton. I'm a junior at Lowndes High School.
Peterson. I'm a student at Lowndes High School.
Alright, welcome to the podcast, man. I'm so glad to have you on today. If you could introduce yourself and we'll just keep on going.
Alright. My name's Stephen Martin. I've lived here my whole life, basically, so...
How old are you?
17.
17? Wait, did you just turn 17?
Just turned 17.
Okay, so I was like, I know I'm older than you, so I was like, you must have just turned 17.
Like, a month ago.
A month ago?
Something like that.
Okay, gotcha. For some reason, I still was thinking you were 16 for some reason. I don't know.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I know, it's like, I'm thinking about it, and I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, one more birthday, and I'm no longer, like, a minor. It's weird. Like, you know, it's weird to think about, though. It's just like, now you have, you know, you think, oh my gosh, I got all these, what? Now is my parents gonna, I know my parents won't do this, but I'm joking. Like, what are they gonna do? Dump me out of the house, and I gotta pay my own bills and all this stuff, you know? Because I've heard stories of some parents doing that, and I'm like, don't know. If they're not ready to do it, don't do it, you know? But I hope our parents will not do that.
Yeah, at least while I'm in school.
Yeah. While we're still in school, please don't do that. But if you could tell your testimony a little bit, and we'll just keep on going from there.
All right. So, early out, thought I was saved.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see, thought I got saved in, like, first or second grade or whatever. Mm-hmm. And as I grew more and learned more about him, I think I was 15, and one night, it was a Sunday night, and I just felt like,
Yeah.
man, he's calling me.
Yeah.
He's just saying,
Get over here, Stephen. Get over here. Yeah.
yeah, so that round 15, almost 16, that's when I got saved, so from then, I've just been growing, so.
Yeah. And was that here at Northside?
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. So, I mean, I know that Charlie talked about it a little bit, but just to refresh my memory and everybody else's, how did y'all come to Northside? Like, how did that happen?
We used to go, I can't remember the name. It's, what is it?
Was it Crossroads? I don't know. I'm just spitballing because that was one that a lot of people have gone to and come
Might
here.
have been that one.
Yeah.
One other I know my mom, she used to go here. Then we left.
Came back,
like around when I was in first grade. Came back, and then been going here ever since. So.
Yeah. And then, you know, I was going to ask you too, like, what would you say, you know, because you go to a different school than I do, right? What are some challenges that you have at VHS or just in public school in general that you would say? Like, you can, you know, don't get yourself in trouble here, but what are some challenges that you would say you'd have?
Valdosta's wow.
Yeah.
Very, I can't describe it. The people there are just
They're
crazy.
Yeah, they're crazy, yeah.
Because you've heard fights almost every day. We have one a day already. So
And you know, how, you know, I mean, it can't be easy to navigate, you know, with like, I mean, 'cause you got to look around a corner and there's somebody, you know, fighting. Oh, you know, got to go the other way, right? But, but also too, in that environment, you know, how do you be a light for people and shine Jesus' light when all that's going on in a public school?
Yeah, and it's hard because people say they believe in Jesus, but they don't.
They don't show it, or
They don't show it. They don't.
I mean, you can tell, right?
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah.
But, like, they say they know it,
But they
but
don't.
do they really know it? Mm-hmm. So it's hard to share to those people.
I mean, yeah, 100%. Even in Lowndes, it's hard to do sometimes because, let me tell you, these kids of our generation today, they're interesting. You know, like, one thing that I found trying to get questions for that big episode that I've been talking about is, you know, kids are curious. They definitely are. But you have to start the conversation. They're not going to just up and spring on it. You know, you kind of have to initiate it first. And then they'll start talking about, you know, they'll maybe ask you a question if they're curious. Now, some others, you know, I've heard they'll just argue with you, which that's happened to me too. I don't know about you, but they'll just argue. And I'm like, you're wasting my time here. I will help you in any way you want to try to understand it. If you have a question, but it's hard to, talk with somebody if you're going to argue.
That's how my friend is. He just argues with me the whole
Really?
entire time about anything I tell him.
My
He'll
gosh.
say, I looked this up on Google, so
Ooh.
it has to be right.
No.
And I'm like,
Yeah, I don't.
no.
No, we got our own one resource, the Bible, and prayer.
Yeah.
But it just blows my mind because again, too, using that Google resource, right? There's looking stuff up. If you want the answer, well, then again, you'll get 1,000 answers. But the right answer's out there. You could find it. But yeah, they don't take that time.
You gotta research.
Right.
You can't just say,
oh, I know what this is. Yeah.
yeah. I just looked it up real quick.
Yeah, you do have to research, and you have to make sure what is the right thing. 'Cause there's so many different, one thing I can think of is the, denominations, right? You can get so confused on which one, what's right and what's wrong and whatnot. So you have to do your own research and what's right.
Yeah.
And you have to do that with pretty much anything nowadays, right? I mean, even with the simplest stuff, like what we didn't have to do this when we were kids, but when what TV shows are good for kids to watch nowadays.
It's hard to find it.
You have to. You have to figure out which ones are good for kids to watch so that way
they'll just put anything up there now on TV.
Right. And it's
just pushing their
crazy.
agenda.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I've seen some of that stuff, and I'm like, we didn't have that when I was 2 or 3. What? I mean, all I had to worry about was which was better, Thomas the Train or another show, Now, but now these kids are being shown that stuff. It's crazy, But how did you get into playing the guitar?
Through my grandpa. So, he's been playing forever.
Yeah.
And he gave me, actually, 2 of his guitars. One of them he gave me while I was just over at his house, and he said, here, if you want to
Try
practice
this.
it, because I was really interested. I was always go to his room and watch him play. So he knew I was interested in it. So he let me keep the other one. And then this other guitar I have, my grandpa gave it to my dad. And then my dad's just had it, but he's never learned how to play. So,
So it was kind of here. You're learning how to play it. So
yeah.
Take it, and you sound really, really good, by the way. You do both electric and acoustic, right?
Yeah, I'm just not as great as electric.
But you did play it You played it yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just trying it out.
Yeah, I got you. And hey, if you want to ask, I know Baines can give you some pointers on it.
Oh yeah, I was definitely asking.
It's what do I do? Yeah,
I was asking him a lot of questions.
Yeah, I bet, and I know he enjoys that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so this is just popping in my head. But what is the main differences you would say between playing both? Is there one major difference? Just besides one's electric, one's acoustic.
Well, acoustic, it's a different style. Mm-hmm. So you gotta think about it. Acoustic's more strumming, chords. Electric, it's more free.
Rock on, freaky bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just you just keep at it. I mean, and of course, for a lot of the songs we do, it's crazy how well the acoustic and the electric can mix in together, and the parts that y'all both have, because I know that you and Baines have both played together, up on the stage before, and I'm like, man, they sound so good. Maybe they need to start a band together or something. All the guitarists, I think, at Northside just need to get together and just do one big thing.
One big guitar band.
Yes, just nothing else. Just one
just
big guitar.
Guitars.
Just guitars. Yeah.
Play drums on guitar.
How would you do that with a soundboard? Okay, so what? How'd you get involved with the youth band? You play guitar, but then how in the world did you get involved with the youth band?
So one summer camp, I brought a ukulele there.
What?
Because why not?
Yeah, sit around the campfire, play a ukulele.
So I was messing around with outside, and Daniel actually saw me, and he's like, "You can play that?" So he asked me to join the youth band. So
was he wanting you to play the ukulele though?
No.
Oh my God.
No, he's like, "Do you play guitar?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he asked me to join the youth band.
And then you've been doing it ever since, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so And if you explain a little bit, like, how does it, ever since, because more and more people are starting to, like, jump in the guitar role and things like that with the youth band, how is it, now you're not having to get up there every single Wednesday, you can trade out now.
It's a break.
I bet it feels pretty good that you can, trade out, and then, because I know, you, Baines,
Jacob.
Okay. So, there's 3 guitars right now. I'm sure there's going to be more. My gosh.
Now we got a bass player.
Sweet.
So
Sweet. Yeah.
I think she'll be playing soon.
Yeah.
I know she was practicing with us.
Mm-hmm.
But
and I know that there was somebody else that I heard that might be doing trying to learn the drums too to help Avery out and trade out. And I know he's happy about that because he's been the drummer and he's been playing every single Wednesday. I'm like, dude, how have you not? You need a break, bro.
Yeah.
But one thing that was pretty cool is that so it's Daniel, Baines, and Avery. They're actually helping me with a new intro for the podcast. But I'm like, because I wanted to get like something that was like custom, not just like a sound that's already been made or whatnot. And it sounds so good. I'm like, we haven't recorded it yet because like Daniel's so busy, but we're trying. Like, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it because it's gonna be on like the the pastor's episode or whatnot.
So it's gonna be on the.
Well, I don't know. You may not hear it in the sanctuary, but I may attach it to like when I put it out on that Friday. It'll still be there. But you'll definitely hear it. Oh, trust me, once I get it, I'll send it to you. Like, hey, this is what it sounds like, and it sounds way better than what the other one did. But what's your favorite part about Northside Youth Group? Like being a part of it?
The community, man. It's just, it's great. Everybody here,
mm-hmm.
they're just so nice to you. They're friendly. They just want to hang out with you all the time.
Yeah, man.
Like
100%. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like we met at Carson's birthday. Well, we knew each other, but really started talking at Carson's birthday party, and then it's just like, and I could do that with just about anybody here, and I can start talking to them, and then I'll walk up to them the next day, and I was like, or the next Wednesday or whatnot, and then now we're talking like crazy. So, and you can do that with anybody in our youth group, honestly. Like, I know that I didn't know Charlie all that well, and now I'm talking with him like crazy. I know that I think it might have been Michael that he was talking to him one time, and I didn't realize that we had another Charlie in the youth group, and so I heard Michael say, of course, my name, and I'm like, what the heck? What who are you talking to? It's like, oh, you're not talking to me. This is gonna get confusing really quick. But I found it so funny that you've got 2 sets of a Charlie and a Steven. One's two friends, and then one's 2 brothers, which is
kind of weird.
That's kind of weird, yeah. Like, and you 2 look nothing alike, which, I mean, look, maybe a tad. Really? No, I mean, I don't think so. I mean, do you think?
Yeah, some say I dress like a hobo.
I've never heard that. What do you mean? What? Some people say you dress like a hobo.
Charlie, and then all my friends.
Well, of course Charlie's going to say that.
And then a lot of people at school.
I mean, of course Charlie's going to say that he's your brother, but why does everybody else say it? No, you don't.
It's just because he dresses better than me.
Oh, well.
And I wear shirts with holes in them.
I mean,
probably shouldn't do that.
Nah, so what? I mean, I've seen pictures of what Noah sent me to, and I'm like, I don't know if that's a fashion statement, Charlie. I don't know. But, yeah. I mean, you don't dress like a hobo. I mean, you just got a backwards hat on and a t-shirt. And then shorts, like, that's like the standard, like, Southern guy, like, fit. Like, that's not.
I think it's just because some of my clothes are very dirty.
Oh, well.
That could be.
That may be, but you're still not a hobo, though. So, what makes our youth group different from other youth groups, in your opinion?
It's just way bigger. I mean,
yeah.
We have so many people.
I know, like, I mean, how many people do you, I mean, I don't obviously count, but on a,
like 100 to 200, something.
Yeah,
like
but I'm talking like just a night, like on a Wednesday. What you would
just
say?
A normal night?
Yeah, we just maybe like, is it 50 something? Like,
it's got to be more than
take
that.
like maybe. Or how about was maybe last night? That was probably close to 60, 70 maybe.
Around 70, yeah. 70,
yeah,
80
I mean there was a lot of people in there. We were packed in there, and just to go back to you playing the guitar for a second, it's always so funny. Like, say if I'm sitting next to. If I'm in the middle, and then you're close to me, and then Baines right next to me, it's always so funny because, like, of course, we go into a time of prayer, and then y'all are just gone. And then it's like, I remember my friend Malachi, because he was sitting next to Baines. He said, "Oh my gosh, it scared me to death. I didn't know where Baines went. It just disappeared." I mean, because y'all literally, you have to go up there, and it's so funny to me.
Like magic.
Yeah, just like, how do you get up there so fast? It's like, and I accidentally, like last night, I accidentally like almost tripped Baines up because I had my foot kind of out like that.
I've almost tripped on somebody's foot before.
And I'm like, I about tripped him up. That would have been so bad if I would have heard him, whoosh, fall on the floor. Oh my gosh. But I'm sure you have. Like, 'cause people aren't really thinking about, oh yeah, there's a guitarist next to me. I got to move my feet out of the way.
Yeah, because like people that maybe not, they won't go like to Wednesday nights all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They have no clue.
So they're like, oh, you got to move. I ain't going to move my feet. You can step over them. Like, it's no biggie. So you really got to watch, don't you? Because, like, we dim the lights and everything. And so you don't want to be tripping over anybody. Mm-hmm. I've always worried about that. I'm like, somebody one day is going to get tripped over.
One day it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen one day. I don't know who it's going to be, but it's going to happen one day. Trust me, if I went up there, it'd be me. I'm so clumsy.
I think it'd probably be me.
Really?
Yeah, I fall a lot.
Really? Come on. Are you that
clumsy? Well, I drop a lot of things.
Yeah, okay, you drop things, but you're not dropping yourself. You're just dropping stuff out of your hands. So, I wouldn't say you fall a lot too much then. So when it comes to our, questions about our youth, and, we kind of have, at least for me, I have split opinions about it sometimes. Because you can look at the Northside Youth and be like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so hopeful, right? And then you look at maybe going to Lowndes or going to Valdosta, and it's like, oh boy. Oh boy, you need to get yourself into FCA right now, right? So when you look at the youth today in general, do you see hope, or are you worried about the future? Make you think on that one.
Mixed opinions.
Yeah, 50-50? Maybe 60-40?
Maybe 60-40.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and why would you say that you have mixed opinions about it?
I mean, the youth group, it's going in a good direction.
Yeah, we'll continue to grow.
We're growing.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got people that...
And then you're around them at school, right? Yeah. I mean, and like we discussed earlier, it is a challenge to, try to witness to them and everything. Sometimes they'll hear you out. At least in my experience, they've heard me out a lot more. But, then there's that one or two that just does not want to hear you out. They'll argue and fight you to, like, every tooth and nail. That's one of the struggles that I've, like, found is, like, and you're so eager and excited to, share, and then they're just like, nope, shut you down right there. I'm like, just hear me out, I mean, and I'm sure it's the same way at Valdosta that it is at Lowndes probably, when it comes to, because I am right about that, right? Because I don't go, obviously, but, it's difficult in today's time to try to share the gospel with, like, our kids our age,
I think it's the same for everywhere.
Probably is, yeah. It probably is. I mean, honestly, and I know, too, it's hard for, if like, you're trying to witness to somebody who's, I don't know, spitting out an age 50, they've lived half their life, and, they're set in their ways. And so that's even harder than, I'd say, a kid our age, because, we're still trying to figure things out and figure out what the truth is. Well, a person that's 50 years old...
More stubborn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely more stubborn. Yeah, that's one word for it. So young people in today's time, like us, we face a lot of, challenges in today's world, like, say with social media, things like that. What advice, if somebody walked up to you right now and said, Stephen, I am struggling to navigate this world in a biblical way, what would you tell them? What advice would you give them?
Have a quiet time. You need to spend time in the Word.
Yeah.
If you're gonna if you want to stay on the narrow path, you want to stay away from what everybody else is doing. Listen to the Bible. It tells you everything. It plans it out. It has everything that you need.
Yep.
So just spend time in the Word and just keep praying, man.
Yeah, 100%. And one question that I got from somebody, they were like, well, do you believe in free will? And I was like, well, yeah, of course you have free will. Yeah. Like, I'm not arguing that. And they were like, well, then how can you, if you're talking about, if you got the set path? I'm like, well, again, you can choose to follow that path that God has set for you. It's going to be better. I mean, we all know it. But sometimes we're like, our flesh is over here like, hey, you can go over here. Like, it'd be okay.
And if you do it, there's consequences.
Yep, exactly. And, and I tried to, again, it's one of those things when they were talking to me, because I'm not good at, like, coming with answers like, right up, I got to think about it. And so, I couldn't get the answer out right when they were asking me. And I was like, my gosh, now I'm going to have to go back and tell them because, I knew what the answer was. But they were trying to argue with me, and I'm like, I know what the answer is, just give me a minute, but yeah, for sure, I would say that when it comes to it, you just need to, like you said, a quiet time. That's 100%, like, no matter, and you just got to find when it works for you, because, like, for me, I do it late, when before I go to bed. Some people may work in the morning, some people may work in the middle of the day. Just depends on your schedule. And one thing I would say, too, is try to find, and I know you agree with this, pray as often as possible, like when you can. Like, one thing that I try to do, because I don't know about Valdosta, but Lowndes, when we put that new building, we have an elevator in there. That's like the one time that is, like, quiet in that whole...
Just away from everybody. Right.
Unless if there's anybody else in there. I mean, you can even pray in your head, so, but you're away from most people and all the craziness that goes on. So you can just pray to him and, pray about your next class, pray about the days ahead, or anything that might be going on, right? Or, in your case, maybe the Wednesday night service, make sure the songs go well,
Because it's a constant conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%. And, like, and this just popped in my brain, but, was there any songs that, that you've had to learn that were just, like a really challenge? Like, you were like, oh my gosh, this is, like, really, really challenging to learn. When it comes to our, youth worship, was there any songs that just, like, really threw you for a loop, or did you manage to pretty much get them?
Not yet, but when I first started out, like, it wasn't the song so much, it was just playing.
Mm-hmm. Because
it
was nerve-wracking, right? Yeah. I mean, because people are watching you, but, but you got to think about it this way. We're looking at the words, we're trying to see what the words are, so... But, yeah, I mean, I understand that. I couldn't imagine getting up there and playing like that, because, I know it's hard to do. I mean, you don't want to mess up or whatnot, because I know that one thing that Noah told me when we were, putting in lyrics and stuff like that, he was telling me that, you want to make sure that everything's right, because if it's not, then that's going to take their focus, talking about the people on Sundays, it's going to take their focus off of God and on your mistake. They're not going to be focused on God anymore when they worship, and it's like... Man, you really had to put it in that perspective. Now I'm worried that 900 people are going to get messed up, But that, and that's the same with anything when it comes to either words in there, music in the youth room, or the college room for now, because we're not in our area yet.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen any more of that up there? Have you been up there? Oh, look,
haven't seen it yet.
It looks good, dude. Looks great. But why do you think, so, this is kind of, geared towards anybody, really, but, especially young people, why do you think they run away when they hear the name Jesus nowadays? Like, you just mention Jesus in the conversation, and they're just like, I'm gone, I'm out of here, see you later.
I think they think it's an argument.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to...
And they don't want to lose.
That, and they don't want to hear the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're ready for the truth. They don't want to hear what they need to hear. Because they like living in sin, but they don't want to...
And they don't want to give it up.
They don't want to give it up.
Mm-hmm. And, I know that for some, that was one thing that I know people have talked about, like, even after you get saved, you've got to learn to give up whatever that is, and it can be hard for some. It's like, you just need to pray about that, especially when you get saved, whatever that sin may be, to help, to ask God for guidance through that. Again, whatever that may be, if it's, I don't know, some examples, gluttony, lustful thoughts, things like that. just ask for forgiveness first of all, and then ask for guidance. And who knows, God may put somebody in your path to help you through that. Because one thing that God showed me is we're all human and we're going through some of the same stuff. That's for sure. Because the devil tries to make you think, oh, we're the only person doing this on the planet, right, or whatever it may be. But no, there's many more people that are doing that same exact thing, and they can talk from experience or have done that thing, and they can help you out of it. But if you have any final thoughts or anything that you want to add, like words of encouragement or anything, you just let me know. Go ahead.
I mean, that's pretty much it.
I mean, would you say, that, let's see. Okay. So would you say that, of course it's 50-50, right? But, with what Northside's doing and everything, would you say that you're hopeful for what the future's going to be?
Yeah, definitely.
100%. And I thank you so much for coming on. I know that this was a bit of a shorter episode, but hey, it's all right, And I'm glad that you came on because I know that, my goal was to try to get more youth on. And, didn't know it was going to be you and your brother for like some of the first ones, but hey, that's how God wanted it. So, again, I thank you so much for coming on, and I can't wait for this to see what God does with it.
All right, thank you.
Yep. With another episode of the Young Minds Podcast coming to a close, I just want to remind you that you are never alone and faith is action. So let's get out there.